Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park here in Canada. And what a night we have in store for you. A fantastic night of racing here on iRacing for round 8 of the WSL GT3 World Championship. We'll be heading to the track very, very shortly for all of the action that is about to take place out there on track tonight. So as we said, we are already at the tail end of the circuit, just a couple more rounds left to go, and very much excited for this to all get underway. The track is cleared. We are about to get ready racing. I'm going to apologise in advance. We had a bit of a failure with the gridding system and the organisation of the drivers, so there might be drivers that are not in the correct position, but we'll keep an eye on that and see how they go. Let's have a look there. So it looks like we have got our pros and our AMs in the wrong way around. So there you go. Kai DL, Dan Tenorio, Dean Timms, Ryan Kaprowski and Harry Wills at the front. Then you've got the pro-ams of James Howard, Achraf El Haddad, Chris Long, Gary Brown, Chase Wilson, Errol Arexoy, Justin Delano, Jeremy Littleton, John Traynor, Justin Rusto, Michael Kulaga and Stephen Martinez all down there as well. And then with the AMs as well, we've got Michael Fowler, Braden Mailing, Rick Swan, Matthew Plaisance, Jern Casey, Eric Blumenkrantz, Charles Bichelle, Andrew Hewitt and Daniel Florea. Again, apologies about that. We will get them all moved about and get them all sorted as soon as we are able to. So we'll head down to the track just now. First off, 2 races tonight. 25-minute race is about to get underway. You can see the cars currently down there just now. So again, you can see the cars making their way round just now. And of course the 2.6 mile circuit here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, the perfect venue for racing here. Just coming around the final couple of corners, then we are getting ready to go live with this race then. James Howard leading Kai DL, Dan Tenorio rounds here. Away we go then. The car's coming down across the line then. Big contact already though. That was Ryan Kaprowski that's gone backwards into the field. Dean Timms is involved in that one as well as Kai DL. So already we've had big drama going on further down the field. Let's check in with Dan Tenorio as well. There we go. That is the Pro-Ams that are underway as well. Let's check the AMs getting through as well. There goes Michael Fowler. managing to get their way through all of the chaos just now. So first lap in of this 25-minute race, and it's already been a very, very frantic affair. Heading back up to the pros, you can see James Howard already up into there as well. And it's been another accident for Achraf El Haddad there on the start-finish straight there. You can see big piles of smoke from that Pro-Am car. That's been a horrible, horrible accident for him just now. And again, what we'll have to do is, because we've had to do this all from the start, we have to try and get some of these drivers in manually where possible. So obviously, the likes of James Howard, Dan Tenorio, they need to be put up into the pro class just now. Give them a minute to get that all sorted out there. Again, we'll check in with the AM battle just now. Michael Fowler appearing to have some sort of connection issue there. He's just in front of Braden Mailing, of course. Championship wise, this is so important for the start of this race as well. Well, all hell is kicking off right now in the pro class just now. You've got Ryan Kaprowski up there, you've got Chris Long up there as well. Dean Timms having to retire after that start line incident as well. Again, just trying to organise everybody into their proper little fields here. But you can see Kai Dale, Dan Tenorio and James Howard really kind of breaking away right now. They are the only three in that pro field right now. Right, that should do it for just now. Apologies for the break in communications and commentary there, but hopefully we've got some of the drivers all back in their proper places. So, as we said, 8 minutes into this race then, this is round number 8 of the IMB WSL World Series here on YouTube. What a race we have had so far. It's all been going off. We've had thrills, spills. Jeff Carollo currently facing into the wall. That's not where he wants to be here at the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Let's have a look here what happens. And again, this is not going to be the last time you see this. Car gets unbalanced into this right-hander here, and we have seen it time and time again here at the EU version of this race here. It just wasn't to be, but thankfully that car avoiding any sort of damage from the wall there. Back with Justin Delano in this Pro-Am battle there. You've got a car going very, very slowly off on the inside. I think that might have been Andrew Hewitt who was recovering the car there, but with the pros right now, it's James Howard ahead of Dan Tenorio. Kai DL is currently in third position. Harry Wills, your championship leader, is down in fourth position. Chris Long is in fifth position as well, but obviously he is in the Pro-Am category as well. Chase Wilson is down in sixth position. And obviously Chase in the lead of the Pro-Am Championship, so he's another driver that we need to get sorted out. It's fairly simple, but again, when it all kind of goes off, then you do kind of lose it. So Chase Wilson just 1.5 seconds behind Chris Long, who's done a grand job getting himself up into that lead position. Justin Delano down there second in the championship, gets straight past Chase Wilson, so this is for the championship, and there goes Chase Wilson into the wall. That is a hard hit, Justin Delano into the wall there, and that is going to be all she wrote for that car, because that was a heavy hit into the wall there. We've seen that again, just like the EU version, time and time again. You just get two wheels on that grass here, and this is exactly what happened here with Justin Delano. That car was already gone before he went through into the corner. Job done, and that is hard into the wall there. Back up with your race leaders then. And it's going to be Dan Tenorio then, 0.8 of a second ahead of James Howard. But again, with all that chaos kicking off in the early stage of the race there, Kai DL and Harry Wills don't really have an answer to anything that is going on just now. Check in with the AM battle as well. You've got Braden Mailing still up in the lead of this. Now this is a much tighter little battle we've got here, because you've got Fowler up there as well. Matthew Plaisance is considerably back on them. You've got Jeff Carollo in there as well. He's involved, and he is obviously not involved for the place or the class fight that's going on just now. Cracking little fight though we've got, as Braden Mailing trying to open up that gap over Michael Fowler right now, who has to give that position there to Michael Kulaga. Check back in with your pro leaders just now. So Dan Tenorio making his way round some lap traffic there. So as we watch the cars come round then, halfway through this first race of the evening, it's still Dan Tenorio out in the lead here of the Pro class just now. You can see Harry Wills at the back of that group there. Back with the Pro-Am battle though, and it's Chris Long, currently 10th in the championship, 2.6 second gap he's got over Gary Brown here, so a fantastic qualifying has done him very, very well right now. Chase Wilson getting past Akraf El Haddad, the two of them fighting out. In fact, Akraf El Haddad facing the wrong way, going down the wrong way on the circuit here. Braden Mailing has had a bit of a moment as well, he's gone off the track. You've got that was the battle for first position in AM, excuse me, and Michael Fowler now takes the lead of that one there. So I'm very interested to see what on earth just happened all there, because Braden Mailing, it looks like that was an unforced error again, just, you know, a little bit of understeer, and thankfully that car looks to have avoided the wall there, gets back on and manages to tell the tale. So Braden Mailing just half a second now behind Michael Fowler. And again, for the championship, this is absolutely crucial. Fowler would go ahead on the... In fact, no, he wouldn't, because the gap is 11 points right now. But this is still valuable points right now for Michael Fowler. Currently behind on that 5.63 to 5.52. Matthew Plaisance as well is currently 4th in the championship, so he's getting some very, very good championship points out of all of this as well. As Jeff Carollo drops down a couple of positions there. 16 minutes gone in this first race. Dan Tenorio still in the lead of the Pro class ahead of Kai Diel. Harry Wills is a country mile off of the battle right now. Meanwhile, Chris Long still ahead of Gary Brown. Jeremy Littleton down in 3rd position as well. So decent position, 6th place in championship for Jeremy Littleton so far. And again, this round here at Motorsport Canada Canadian Tire Motorsport Park here in Canada is so important for the championship. We've just got 2 rounds left to go after tonight is done and dusted, and really they want to make sure that they've got everything in the books. Back to this battle for AM then, as Michael Fowler still just ahead of Braden Mailing. Mailing's looked unsurmountable so far this year, but is he going to be able to hold on to it right now? Because this is the question. Again, it looks like Mailing's starting to drop off a little bit from this battle right now, as you've got Errol Rexoy and Michael Kulaga just up in front. That is going to be a move. Unfortunately, it's going to be a move by default, because Michael Kulaga, after that earlier contact, really had no part to play in the rest of this race right now. So just 7 minutes left to go in the race here. And it does look like it's spread out an awful lot here, because Dan Tenorio, quite honestly, is out by a country mile on this one. As that was a car off on the inside there. Who was that was just left absolutely stranded by the side of the road? Was that Kai DL? No, it wasn't. We had a car just sitting there in the middle of the track there. I'm trying to get an idea on who on earth that was. Well, they've certainly got going again, that's for sure there. But with just 5 minutes left to go, it's Dan Tenorio ahead of Kai DL and Harry Wills in the Pro class. Then moving down to the AM class, it's Chris Long ahead of Gary Brown and Jeremy Littleton as well. And again, we've got a car off on the track there. I think that might have been Justin Delano who was facing the wrong way on the track there. No, it's not. Oh, strangely, I just... Twice now I've seen a car facing off. There we go, it was Charles Bichelle. As Daniel Flarea having yet another moment here. This though, Michael Kalaga just ahead of Jeff Carollo. And with 3.5 minutes left to go in this first race, it's looking very, very good for the likes of Dan Tenorio. This is going to be some huge points for him, but more importantly, it's going to take some big points off the likes of Harry Wills and Ryan Kaprowski as well. So Kaprowski was fighting Wills and was about 25 points behind, but with Kaprowski out of the race and not scoring any points from this first race, this could very, very well start swinging the championship in Harry Wills' favour right now. Chris Long still 6.4 seconds ahead of Gary Brown. That gap going up all of the time here. This track here that we've noticed through the EU race that we had earlier on tonight, it was Zach and myself doing the commentary for that one. What we noticed is that this race, as chaotic as this race is, it's nothing compared to the second race where the drivers learn. You know, they really don't have a lot of opportunities coming around here at this circuit here. They have to push as hard as they can from the very get-go, and that's exactly what they need to get doing here, but it's just not happening. We've got three very, very widely spread races just now, with the exception of possibly this little battle here for P2 with just, what, 2.5 minutes left to go in the race. Harry Wills onto the back end of Kai DL. He's desperate to try and get some more championship points from this first race here. It would be very, very important if he could actually get that done, and that's not going to happen because Harry Wills puts two wheels onto the grass. We saw that happen in race 2 where he destroyed the car. In fact, that was in race 1, excuse me, and then race 2 he did the same. He put one wheel, the back wheel, onto the grass, powered the car out, and somehow saved that car from certain death, and did a grand job in holding on to that one. But as we said, 23.5 minutes gone in the race. We're about to start lap number 19 here for Dan Tenorio, which means this is going to be, I would imagine, the penultimate lap that he is going to be starting just now here. Indeed, that actually is, because we're doing 1:15s just now, and Harry Wills still throwing that car in as much as he possibly can, but it's just not happening. Back to this fight then with Michael Fowler and Brian Malin. This is huge for the ARM Championship right now, because as we said, with Braden Mailing just 11 points ahead of Michael Fowler. Fowler getting the win here tonight for this first race is a big chunk out of that gap, with just 5 races after this left to go in the championship. And the question is he able to actually catch up to the tail end of that car in front? Let's have a look on board with Braden Mailing then. As your race leader then, Dan Tenorio, goes across the line to start the final lap of the race then. It's been a fairly exemplary performance right now from Dan Tenorio after that initial chaos and confusion. Through the final couple of corners then, and it's going to be a race win in race 1 for Dan Tenorio in the pro class. Kai DL is going to come across the line in P2, and it's going to be Harry Wills who will eventually come across the line in P3, but to the Pro-Ams then, and it's going to be Chris Long taking that class win ahead of Gary Brown. A real turn up for the books here, because those two were languishing down in the table. Jeremy Littleton is going to come across the line and finish in P3 for Pro-Am. John Trainer in P4. And then on to the AMs, and it's Michael Fowler who is going to finish ahead of Braden Mailing. We'll keep our eye on that just now. Into the final corner then, Braden Mailing trying to throw everything but the kitchen sink at this little fight here. It's almost going to be nose to tail there, but it's going to be Michael Fowler from Braden Mailing in second place there, and then in third place you've got it's Rick Swan who takes third place there, John Casey in fourth. But my goodness me, what a fight that was. Let's have a quick look at the standings then. Dan Tenorio taking that race win in race number 1. Kai DL in second place, Harry Wills in third, Dean Timms is in fourth position, and then you've got James Howard and the rest of the finishers like of Ryan Kaprowski. Now that is, as I said, that is huge for the championship. Moving on then to the Pro-Ams. And there you go, you can see the results there. Chris Long taking the race win. Gary Brown in second place. And Jeremy Littleton in third. And then moving on to the AMs. Michael Fowler taking the race win there from Braden Mailing, and Rick Swan in third position, John Casey in fourth, Matthew Plaisance in fifth, Charles Bichelle in sixth, Eric Blumenkrantz in seventh, Daniel Florea in eighth, and Andrew Hewitt in ninth position. So what we'll do, we'll take a very short break. When we come back, we'll have live coverage of race 2, and we'll get all those technical gremlins fixed very quickly indeed. So a 50-minute race coming up very shortly. We'll see you in a second.
Gravitate. Go. Chill. 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 Go.
Hit that. With that. Hit that.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park for round 8 of the IMB World Series. It is David Christie here with you, providing you all the commentary that you're going to need for tonight's action. A very warm welcome back for race number 2 of the evening. We had a frantic and fairly chaotic race 1, but here is what you need to know in terms of the championship standings just now. Harry Wills currently in the lead now, extending his lead over Dean Timms now, and Ryan Kaprowski, more importantly, Kai DL and Dan Tenorio. So that gap now is 34 points over Dean Timms in that Pro Class battle. This is now where it needs to start coming out of the bottle if these guys are going to catch up onto Harry. Moving over to the Pro-Am standings then. And Chase Wilson extends that gap over Justin Delano by 50 points now. Achraf El Haddad in P3. And Jeremy Littleton, it doesn't look likely to catch up to Chase Wilson any stretch of the imagination. Then on to the AM standings, Braden Mailing ahead of Michael Fowler by just 9 points, so that gap's still way too close to call. Rick Swan still in with a theoretical shout on this, but again, you have to look between Braden Mailing and Michael Fowler for this championship. I would think, unless Rick Swan can pull out the most incredible efforts from the remaining races that we've got here. So we've got 5 races left in the season. We've got this one here tonight here at Canadian Tire Motorsport. Then we have got another 2 races left to go. We head to Daytona, which is one of my favourites. I absolutely adore Daytona. And then Mount Panorama for the grand finale. That's on the 14th and 21st of December, respectively. But here we go. This is what it's all about. We've got 15 seconds before we head down to the grid, and again, starts are going to be so important. Remember, it's a top 10 grid reverse grids even for this second race, and again, getting a good start is going to be so absolutely crucial. So we'll give them a second to head down to the grids. And as you can tell, there's a tactical bottle of juice getting opened because I'm going to need it after this one. Let's head down to the grid then and see what we have got in store for us. Now, there we go. So we've got it sorted this time. James Howard ahead of Dean Timms, Harry Wills, Kai DL, Dan Tenorio and Ryan Kaprowski. That is how the pros lead. That is going to be fascinating, absolutely fascinating to see how that one unfolds. Jeff Carollo is in the lead of the Pro-Ams ahead of Chase Wilson, Michael Kulaga ahead of Achraf El Haddad, Errol Eriksoy with Eric Kulaga, John Trainer and Jeremy Littleton, Gary Brown and Chris Long, who were just superb in that first race there. Stephen Martinez and Justin Delano with Justin Rostow leading out your Pro-Ams. Then it's Andrew Hewitt ahead of Daniel Florea, who will be hoping to make amends after that pretty disastrous first race there. Then Charles Michel with Matthew Plaisance, John Casey and Rick Swan, Braden Mailing and Michael Fowler rounding out your AMs. They've got to work their way from the back of the grid, and remember, championship points, crucial championship points are on the line for this final race of the evening here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So the car's making their way round then. So all the way around this 2.549 mile circuit. This is one of the flashpoints that you're going to see throughout the course of the day, up through Quebec and then coming up to Moss specifically. That double right-hander, a tight double right-hander, that is going to be a very difficult ask for a lot of these drivers, because what tends to happen is it's this little banking here that sets off the cars, it sets them off balance, and then they end up not being able to actually make that corner. They understeer wide, or even worse, they understeer off to the grass on that right hand side there and end up spinning around. But we are just seconds away from our second and final race of the evening here on the SimSport Solutions YouTube channel. A very warm welcome. It's David Christie here with you, bringing you all of the coverage from tonight's second race. And again, we'll be watching this battle. We'll be watching the battle with Jeff Carollo leading the Pro-Ams as well, and the AMs as well. But a little bit later at night, 50-minute race, which means that there's a mandatory pit stop here. Just coming through the final couple of corners. Here we are onto the start-finish straight, and remember, this will be up to James Howard as to when he decides to go. He pulls the trigger, and away he gets going just now. So Dan Tenorio at the end of that group there. Here comes Jeff Carollo and Chase Wilson, though. They get underway. All of the cars making their way through quite safely through that one. Let's have a look at Andrew Hewitt then as he comes across the line for the AMs. And it looks like that's going to be Rick Swan getting kind of eaten up there. John Casey taking that position from him early on. Again, for a lot of these drivers, it's just going to be a case of settling down into a rhythm and trying to get themselves through the first couple of laps without any issue whatsoever. Michael Fowler at the back of that group there trying to make amends here, but Braid Melling already getting a jump on him just now, so that is a very important move that's already been done, because Rick Swan is kind of pushing Michael Fowler back a little bit here. Back with your Pro-Am leader then, Jeff Carollo, just 1/10 of a second ahead of Chase Wilson. Again, championship wise, this is so crucial to see how this is all going to unfold here as we come across this start finish line. Start lap number 2. Now I'm seeing there Justin Delano. Now what has happened to Justin Delano? I believe he's still in the race, but it was just a bit of a connection issue there for Justin Delano as he was late onto the brakes there for the AM fight right now. Harry Rose up in that P2 position in Pro just now, but under real pressure from championship contender Dean Timms. It was side by side here, and remember, it was the Twisted show for Pro Class last time out, as we saw, I believe it was Dean Timms and Harry Wills as well as Ryan Kaprowski all fighting in amongst there. So Harry Wills keeps on to that second position there and holds on to it. Kai Dialdo has just retired back to the pits. So Kai Diel has had a bit of a moment here. Let's see what's happened in that Pro Class car. Oh good lord, that car is dead. That car, oh my goodness me, that is a big hit for Kai DL there. Let's see what happens. Snap oversteer, good night, sweet prince, bang. Kai DL out of the race. That is very unfortunate to see. Back with the Pro-Ams then. In fact, never mind that, we need to go and switch down to the AMs right now, because Andrew Hewitt's still ahead of Matthew Plaisance. Charles Rochelle is fighting off Daniel Fleuret, so there's all hell kicking off down there as well. But to be fair, they've kept themselves much cleaner than they did in the EU race earlier on this evening. Kaprowski onto the back of Dean Timms right now. And again, a 5-car train for this pro class right now. Side by side down the start finish straight, then Michael Kulaga and Earl Arexoy. This is looking very, very fighty indeed, Arexoy. And you've also got Trainer in there as well. Who was that off the back? That was Earl Arexoy going into the grass there. That's going to be contact with the wall, and that is going to be severe damage to that car. Needs to get it pulled down very, very quickly indeed, and that car is toast. Again, it's such a silly thing to explain, but when the car hits the barrier at that speed, what ends up happening is your steering just gets absolutely destroyed. It's the front right, and it takes such a heavy hit there that's why his car just immediately passes straight back onto the grass there, and back into the wall, as Charles Bichelle has had a moment as well. I think he's done a carbon copy of what we saw there. This is not the last time we're going to see into the right-hander here. Thankfully though, to be fair, avoids the wall and just loses a whole ton of places, which realistically can absolutely be made up over the course of the race here. Here is Andrew Hewitt, and that was Matthew Plaisance that he was fighting to take the lead of that AM battle right now. So fantastic move there for Andrew Hewitt, takes the lead of the AM class, as Jeff Carollo still ahead in the Pro-Am class right now. Chase Wilson is going to have to get a move on though, because he's got Achraf El Haddad right on his tail as well. As does, if you would believe it or not, James Howard. I mean, that is still a 5-car train that you've got going in the Pro class just now, so fantastic action going on all the way through the field, and we've still got 44 minutes left to go in this race. Meanwhile, that is absolutely huge. I need to explain what has just happened there. Braden Mailing has had a moment there, and I'm wondering if there's been contact into the wall. Oh, and you can see just up in front as well, Andrew Hewitt has done exactly the same thing here. So thankfully there's no damage, looks like, to the car of Braden Mailing. But again, that's not going to be the last time you see that happen with these cars. The problem being is that Michael Fowler is now up into P3 in today's race, and this is going to give him some huge points. He needs this because he's only 9 points off of Braden Mailing. As it stands, this would hand the championship lead to Michael Fowler, so huge implications from this race, but again, still very early. Meanwhile, back at the front of the Pro class now, it's Dan Tenorio who has lost out to James Howard. James Howard now has went from 0 to 0, and that is all because of an off track. So let's check what happened to your Pro class leader. It's that same corner again. You're going to see that time and time again at Moss. Is going to climb so many cars. Again, thankfully, no damage to the car. Just a little bit of bruised pride and a little bit of damaged ego on that. Well, there's a moment for Jeff Carollo then from the Pro-Am lead. And yet again, it just shows you how quickly these moments happen, and the tail end switches out. That is a save and a half. That is a save and a half for Jeff Carollo. Absolutely fantastic stuff. But we've got all hell kicking off right now. John Trainer is going very slowly. Matthew Plaisance has crashed as well. He's out of the race. So we need to figure out what on earth has happened here then. all by himself. Oh, he's clipped the curb. And again, we saw that earlier on. Holds on, and oh, that is so very, very close to taking somebody else with him there. But again, we saw that. I think it was Harry Wills that we saw that with in race 1 earlier on, where it just clips the wall. Back with aforementioned Harry Wills, though. He is doing everything that he needs to do right now. Currently 34 points ahead of Dean Timms. Dean Timms down in 3rd position right now. And like I say, as it stands, I believe that gap would stretch up to probably about 38 points, 39 points. Ah, that's not good. John Traynor then getting sent just before Moss. And I think there was a little bit of contact there. I think that might have been Jeremy Littleton. Chase Wilson though ahead of the Pro-Ams right now. He's leading Achraf El Haddad by 0.2 of a second here. Still absolutely nothing in it. And you get the feeling with the pace that Achraf El Haddad has got right now, he may be looking to make a move very, very quickly indeed. But Michael Fowler back to the lead of the AM class, and again this is absolutely crucial for the championship. As it stands, Braden Mailing would go down to 2nd place at the very least in the AM Championship. But bear in mind, we've still got another 4 races to go. It would just be, I think, by a handful of points. The 5-car train for the Pro League has resumed, although Harry Wills starting to get a little bit of a gap now. He's opened up over a second over Ryan Kaprowski now, who's back up into P2 for the Pro fight right now. Dean Timms in 3rd with Dan Tenorio. James Howard tries to send it up the inside, and well, James Howard has kind of just went off. Sorry, Dan Tenorio has just went off to the moon. Let's see what's happened here then. Oh, spot the deliberate mistake, ladies and gentlemen. That is a difficult one to watch. I'll slow it down here. In fact, there you go. 2 wheels on the grass. And we'll see that time and time and time again. That'll send the car sideways, and that'll send the car straight into the wall. John Casey has had another moment. Unfortunately, he's had a bit of a spin coming up to the tail end of the circuit. And again, caught onto that. That looked like on the exit of Moss there. Tried to hold on to it, but it just wasn't good enough to hold on to that spin there. Chase Wilson now under huge pressure right there. Dan Tenorio limping his way back to the pitch. Major suspension damage on that car, and what has happened to Harry Wills? He goes wide very briefly, but can Chase Wilson hold on to this fight just now? I'm going to put a hesitated guess and say no, because have a look at Achraf El Haddad there. He's just looking so very comfortable. Meanwhile, Dan Tenorio is having all sorts of issues. He finally gets himself into pit lane. Michael Fowler in the lead of the AMS right now. We've done 15 minutes almost of this race here. We're just about a couple of minutes away from 1/3 race distance. You know, sometimes it is just nice to stay quiet a little bit and enjoy everything that is going on. This is the battle for Pro right now. Harry Wills ahead of Ryan Kaprowski, Dean Timms as well in there. James Howard fighting it out for that Pro position right now. And what a race we have got on our hands right now. Chase Wilson in Pro as well, so you know, every single battle as well. Have a look at this though, right? You've got Chris Long, who is just ahead of Jeff Carollo. You've got Justin Delano, Michael Kalaga, Jeremy Littleton and Stephen Martinez. So it's a 6-car fight that you've got right now for that position. In fact, there we go, we've got a fight for the lead then. El Haddad moves up into the leads of Pro-Ams. And let's see how that happens. Just a slipstream and a dive up into the corner. Straightforward move, and the Lamborghini was very willing to let that one happen. Doesn't really have a choice. They're obviously doing their own strategy. Michael Fowler now 6 seconds of a gap over Daniel Flarea, so a comfortable lead for Michael Fowler in the lead of the AM class right now. Braden Melling goes into pit lane as we've got Ryan Kaprowski onto the back end of Harry Wills here just now then. 15 minutes gone in the race. Is it going to be a move here? It's looking very, very impatient. Is Ryan Kaprowski here with 3 twisted racing cars of Wills, Timms and Howard. Almost nose to tail there. Harry starting to get a little bit wiggly there as that car's desperately trying to hold on to that position. Here comes Ryan Kaprowski with the toe down start finish straight though, as Justin Delano makes a move on Jeff Carollo for P4 in the Pro-Ams right now. And it's been a really, really enjoyable race so far. A lot of action, a lot of intrigue and a lot of mystery all kind of unfolding as it were. And again, you can just see from the body language of the car of Harry Wills, he's really having to drive that thing over and above the capability that the car actually has there. A little bit of a wiggle there, we saw that again in race 2 from the EU race, as that's going to be very, very wide for Ryan Kaprowski. Gets sent out wide, that hands second place to Dean Timms and to James Howard into P3 as well. Ryan Kaprowski gets sent backwards. And again, that's the whole problem that you've got here. If you try and make a move, then sometimes it just doesn't work. Gary Brown though from Pro-Am. Let's have a look here what's happened here to Gary. What a surprise at Moss. Just sends it over. We actually saw a Porsche go over that curb on the inside and completely destroy their suspension. Just by going over the curb there. Absolutely bizarre. So that is the current state of affairs with Pro. Let's check in Pro-Am then. Akraf El Haddad still ahead of Chase Wilson right now, then Chris Long in P3, Justin Delano in P4, so that's a little fight that's going on just now. You've got Michael Kalaga fighting with Jeremy Littleton down for 5th and 6th position. And again, The last of the runners looks to be Stephen Martinez in P9 just now, sorry, P7 just now in that class. And then if we head down to Michael Fowler in the AM class, 13 seconds it looks to be that he is ahead of Rick Swan just now then, because Matthew Plaisance has been into the pits. And my goodness me, that is a healthy lead that Michael Fowler has got over the rest of that AM class just now. And obviously with the fact that he's kind of just on his own just now, that means that it's going to be a very lonely race for him at the front. Harry Wills coming under pressure though from side by side from Dean Timms. This is for championship points. Again, first and second in the championship, and Harry Wills doing everything he can possibly do to keep that car behind him at bay here. We're well and truly into the pit lane, the pit strategy window, and we'll see that probably go on for another 15 minutes, I would imagine. So Dean Timms then really pushing this car hard of Harry Wills, and comes out of that corner there, gets a compromised exit out of the corner. They're going to be side by side because Dean Timms is going to have the run in that BMW. The Mercedes grunt is not going to be enough to hold it off. You're going to have to watch because James Howard is fancying trying to make that 3 wide as well, and I wouldn't put it past him actually being able to do that. Harry Wills then with Dean Timms round the outside, and that is a crash there for James Howard, managing to spin all by himself, just somehow held onto it, as does Harry Wills, who powers that car out of a slide there coming out of the final corner there, keeps the foot in, and lives to tell the tale another day. He's a very fortuitous person right now, is Harry Wills, and doing everything that he possibly can, but we're just 3.5 minutes away from the halfway point, and let's see if we can actually try and get a little look at that, because I want to try and see James Howard there and how he managed to save that that little car there, that little fight. And this is a little bit too far back, unfortunately, so we'll try and skip that on a little bit. It was just through the right-hander. In fact, we'll come back to that in a minute because Harry Wills has crashed. Harry Wills has done Harry Wills. Although it's quite slow, so I'm presuming that it's just been on the exit of entry to Moss. Onto the brakes, again, slides the car in. Yeah, that's a really simple crash to have. It's not even a crash really, it's just he's power slid round the corner and loses second position there. So Harry Wills then drops down to P3 right now, just behind James Howard, but that is 2 seconds, and that's a really clever move by Harry Wills to head into the pit lane despite having that bit of a moment there. Achraf El Haddad still in the lead of the Pro-Ams right now, 4 seconds to the good over Chase Wilson and Chris Long as well. And remember, championship wise, this is very important for Achraf El Haddad, because he is going to pretty much take a chunk of points out of Justin Delano, who is just behind him, 3 cars behind him just now. So whether he'll be able to jump him, I don't know, but he will take a hefty chunk of points out of second place right now. And Chase Wilson is in second place. He's done everything really that he needs to do to bolster that position. 58 points ahead, and I mean, remember, one race could swing that right back in the other direction, but again, it's the whole thing of balance of probability at this point. Meanwhile, with Michael Fowler still in the lead, 17 seconds ahead of Rick Swan, how can you possibly bring anything with that? He is the fastest person in that AM class right now. In fact, I'd be very tempted to get Michael Fowler up into the Pro-Ams with the pace that he's got right now, but fantastic resurgence and a great effort from Michael Fowler in the AM category. I was quite impressed with that there. That was almost as if by magic, by command, that I saw Daniel Fleuret there. So Fleuret just lost the back end of that car, but so has Justin Delano. Now it does look like he's avoided any contact with that when he gets back on. But the question is, has he lost the pace from that car, Charles Michel, into the pit lane then for the AM class as well? Charles Michel comes out of pit lane then, and again we're going to have to give them a couple of laps here because they're kind of all spread out with all of the different pit stops that are happening just now. But we're at the halfway point of the second race of the evening then. This is the WSL IMB World Tour Round 8, and Michael Kalaga is into the wall. That is not what you want to see. Jeremy Littleton also involved in that. Now, did those two come together? That's the question. Yes, the slightest of touches. And Justin Delano has lost it as well. So Justin Delano at the exit of Moss, what a surprise. But again, these are all huge, huge moments for the championship. At this point in time, I think it's actually easier commentating on who hasn't had an incident or an accident, because everyone is going off left, right and centre here. Chris Long right onto the back of Chase Wilson here, as we've already crossed the halfway point in the race here. And again, Chase Wilson coming under real pressure from Chris Long just behind him. So we'll keep our eye on that one. But as we said, I mean, this is now prime pit stop opportunity for a lot of these cars here. In fact, the leading car right now, Harry Wills, actually might be able to undo a lot of the damage here, because he was currently, 18 seconds behind. Figure out here, Harry Wills could actually be onto a fairly decent recovery drive after that half spin. We'll have to see how it goes, but I do think he has got a little bit in the bag here. But again, it just depends on how quickly he can get out of harm's way and back up to the pointy end. Chris Long into pit lane then from our Pro-Am fight. He's one of the first to blink from there. Matthew Plaisance is off again. not the best place, to be honest, at the exit of the start-finish straight, but to be fair, he gets going, and it likely kept his eye on the relative right now. Dean Timms is coming under pressure as well. Now, why has he lost so much time? Justin Rustow has had a bit of a moment as well. Harry Wills. Do you remember where I was saying about that recovery drive? No. just no, it's not happening. So he pinballed off one ball, went onto the grass, and went straight back to another. Ow. Heavy side on damage. I'll be very surprised if that car is still up to pace. Your race leader goes into the pits, then Dean Timms. So from the lead of the race goes Dean Timms. You've got James Howard, who now takes that position 6 seconds ahead of Ryan Kaprowski. With just 19 minutes left to go in this race then, we're still waiting for all of the pit stops, or the majority of the pit stops still to happen. Dean Timms currently your leading car that has done a pit stop right now. Then it's Harry Wills, but I don't think there's any chance of Harry Wills actually getting back up the order after that hefty hit. We'll have a look at his lap times. Last one was a 1:21, so again, you kind of want it to be in the 1:13s, 1:14s if it's going to be competitive. Anything outside that, and he is going to get fed to the wolves. James Howard jumps into the pits then from Pro as well. Let's keep an eye on our Pro-Am battle as Achraf El Haddad 6.3 seconds ahead of Chase Wilson right now. Michael Fowler still in the lead of the Am battle, 33 seconds. That's unreal. However, Michael Fowler does have to still take a pit stop very shortly. Now there is a turn up for the books, because James Howard now is just ahead of Dean Timms, and James Howard has pitted. So this is a very intriguing little fight that we've got going on here, and James Howard actually did the jump there despite taking half a second longer in pit lane. So again, we've got time to see. Chase Wilson jumps into the pits now, and again not fighting there for this Pro class, because Chase Wilson is in the Pro-Ams just now. But the person we've got to look at, I guess, is Ryan Kaprowski. He's all by himself just now. So James Howard ahead of Dean Timms, but also ahead of Stephen Martinez. So Martinez fancies getting a little bit involved in this fight as well, possibly even John Traynor actually. The problem being, John Traynor obviously hasn't pitted yet and is in Pro-Am. So Ryan Kaprowski side by side with Achraf El Haddad here. And I'm wondering if Kaprowski has got some damage on that car. Let's have a look here. Oh, it's a spin in the moss. Whoever saw that one coming? Harry Wilson up into Harry Wilson up into P8 overall. Still, that means P4 in class right now. So I think there's some heavy fuel saving going on right now with Ryan Kaprowski and Achraf El Haddad. Given that Kaprowski's last time was 5 seconds, an entire 5 seconds slower than Achraf El Haddad behind him. Matthew Plaisance has had a bit of a moment, and a bit might be an understatement. Yep, there we go, on the inside of that right-hander. That car is looking absolutely planted. He gets it out of the corner, gets back onto the track here, and out of harm's way there. Let's have a look back with your Pro-Ams then. Achraf El Haddad ahead of Martinez by 20 seconds. However, El Haddad still does have to jump into pit lane, so does Steve Martinez. So Martinez into pit lane, that puts John Traynor up into P2, but again, pit stops still have to happen. Then Michael Fowler ahead of Braden Mailing by a whopping 33 seconds. But yet again, as I said, Michael Fowler still has to go into pit lane. 14 minutes left to go in this final race, the evening here on the IMB World Series Leagues World Tour. Round 8 here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Dave Christie here with you for all of the coverage here tonight. And yeah, this has been, as good old JR would say in the wrestling, this has been a slobber knocker. There's just bits of cars left all over the circuit here, and it's a very wide spread, but we still crucially have around about 6 to 7 cars that still need to pit. Kaprowski, El Haddad from the lead of both Pro and Pro-Am, John Traynor from Pro-Am, then Gary Brown, Michael Fowler as well to jump into the pits and get themselves sorted out. Fowler of course leading this AM battle right now. So there we go, Michael Fowler into pit lane. From the lead of the AM class, and again a very short stop there, 11.85 seconds. However, I wonder if Braden Mailing's done enough here, because Braden Mailing was 33 seconds behind. He's going to come across just now then. Possibly going to be about 3 or 4 seconds behind is Braden Mailing. You've got a car off on the inside, that's Andrew Hewitt who goes off there, but Braden Mailing not quite close enough to catch up there. Ryan Kaprowski and Achraf El Haddad and John Traynor all going into the pits. That means Gary Brown will surely have to go into pits as well next time. That now means James Howard takes the lead of the race ahead of Dean Timms. This is now the closest battle that we've got out there on circuit just now. Rick Swan and John Casey. And as I said, this is the closest thing by a mile. The only other battle that we've actually got on track is Steve Martinez and Justin Delano. So it shows you how quickly this race can peter out and fizzle out and kind of do its own thing, as Ryan Kaprowski gets caught up by Achraf El Haddad here. But of course Kaprowski in the Pro class, Achraf El Haddad in the Pro-Am. So El Haddad 7.5 seconds ahead of Long, and that is going to be an accident there for Chase Wilson. That is huge. That is your championship leader who has taken heavy damage, and this blows the championship wide open because there is Justin Delano. That car is absolutely goosed. Delano moves ahead now and takes some crucial points off of your championship leader. And Achraf El Haddad at the moment, I believe, is going to be on 593 points. So would move up to second place in the championship. But again, it's where does Justin Delano finish here? That's going to be the huge question. I think as it stands, I think Justin Delano would take the lead of the championship. Potentially. That's going to be the key issue, is whether Chase Wilson can actually survive. Let's find out what happened to Chase Wilson there. Locks up the wheel. Yep. It's not going to be the last time that we see that, for sure. For sure. Steve Martinez then ahead of Justin Delano. Now this is crucial. Chase Wilson into pit lane to get that damage repaired on that car. And with just 8 minutes left to go, you get the feeling that that car might be retiring from the race. Now, if Justin Delano can get third place, then that would be absolutely massive for the championship. That would be, I believe, 54 points. So that would take Justin Delano up to, let's see, that would take Justin Delano up to 613 points. So Justin Delano, if he was to get third position here, moves up the inside. And of course, these two are teammates, so this is a done deal already. So Justin Delano, as it stands again, I have to figure out where Chase Wilson is, because if he doesn't finish on the lead lap or one lap down, he's not going to get the points. So there you go. That is potentially right there a move for the championship lead that you've just seen before your very eyes. So fascinating stuff going on right now. Let's have a look at the pro class right now, because Harry Wills and Dean Timms are fighting it out just now. James Howard, a relative no show in terms of the championship right now, but Dean Timms is currently 34 points behind Harry Wills right now, and I think Dean Timms is going to take a massive haul of points from this race here. And I believe, depending on where Harry Wills finishes, if he's not on the again, if he's not just one lap down, I don't know if he scores the points here. But either way, if that is the case, this could be the Pro Championship thrown on its head as well as we are speaking here. Michael Fowler and Braden Mayling, I don't think that is going to change anything. It'll narrow the gap between those two, but nothing is going to happen in terms of changes between those two. It'll go from being 9 points between them probably to being about 5 or 6 points between them. I think actually it'll end up being 8, but we'll say anywhere between that, under 10 anyway, between those two cars. So it's getting very tight at the top for the AMs as well. I think that also might put Rick Swan out of contention, although he might mathematically still be in with a chance. Now James Howard is getting caught hand over fist here from Dean Timms. This could be a bit of a belter in terms of championship points as well. Harry Wills back into pit lane there. Matthew Plaisance and Harry Wills have both crashed. So let's see what happened to Harry. A huge wiggle. That car is dead. That car is done. Signed, sealed, delivered, off to the scrapyard. Now what happened with Matthew Plaisance as well? A little bit snap oversteer. And yep, job done. That'll be enough to do that one. So Matthew Plisson spins out again, and that's been a day to forget for that car. However, we've just got 5 minutes left to go in the race here. You've got Gary Brown just about to come under attack here from Michael Fowler very shortly. And remember, that's not for position, but Kalaga also coming under attack there from Gary Brown right now. But as I said, 5 minutes left to go here in this race. I love whatever I'm doing is jinxing these cars right now, because Gary Brown just going very, very wide out the corner there. Again, just one of the most common mistakes that you're going to see out of the course of the evening tonight. Onto the grass, understeer central, and you've got very, very little hope of recovering that one, as James Howard still has Dean Timms 7/10 of a second behind him, and we are coming down to our final 3 laps here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Does look like Harry Wills is retired from the race, and if that is the case, then that hands the championship lead to Dean Timms. So again, just so much has just changed in the course of this this race this evening as well. Let's go back to our Pro-Am fight that's there. Achraf El Haddad, I believe, is going to take the championship lead in the Pro-Ams as well with that performance just now, because as it stands, Justin Delano not quite able to do enough. So we'll have a look. El Haddad is 5-3, 3 points, so he'll get himself up to, yeah, sorry, Delano I think it is that will take the lead of the championship with that 3rd place finish just now as it stands, because Chase Wilson is way down, several laps down. And just like that, I've managed to jinx it yet again. Achraf El Haddad goes wide at the corner, and meanwhile, now this is a turn up for the books. This is for the AM category, AM class championship as well. Michael Fowler under huge attack here from Braden Melling. This is absolutely massive for the championship, and I wonder if Michael Fowler having to do a little bit of fuel saving here, because that car looks very, very slow compared to the car in front of him. Let's have a look here, because Michael Fowler did go off track in that last lap round there. So what happened here? Very slightly wide, so he held on to it, to be fair. But here we go then, with just 2 laps left to go. Braden Mailing all over the back of Michael Fowler right now. So this is a turn up for the books as the track temperature starting to cool down. The track and the car starting to cool down, getting a little bit more slidey at certain places of the track here at Motorsport. It's going to make it a new dynamic for these drivers. However, here comes Braden Mailing right onto the back of that Mercedes of Michael Fowler in the lead of the AM class just now. We've got just 1 minute left to go, so we're on the penultimate lap. This is going to be the penultimate lap that these drivers start here, and it's going to be the last lap for James Howard. But there you go, tries to make a move up the inside there, as Michael Fowler having absolutely none of it. You've got a car off on the track there. That is going to be Charles Michel that brings off the yellow flag there. all about Braden Melling though. What can they do? There we go, that's what they can do. Michael Fowler goes wide into the corner, into Moss. The two of them are going to be side by side, Braden Melling and Michael Fowler. This is an epic drag race down the back half of the circuit here. And again, it's all about the remainder of this lap here, because we've got a race leader just behind these two cars here, so they'll actually be going on to the last lap this next time by, but still side by side around the outside tries to go the Mercedes, and then it's going to be Melling who takes the lead of that Pro class just now. And sorry, the AM class right now, but here comes your Pro leader then, James Howard, out the final corner to win race number 2 here at Motorsport. Dean Timms going to come across the line in second place. Then it is Ryan Kaprowski in third, and that is the only finishers that we have in Pro right now. Akraf El Haddad is going to come across the line. He takes the win for the Pro-Ams. Chris Long in second, Justin Delano in third, and then it's Stephen Martinez in fourth position as well, with John Traynor in fifth. Then you've got Gary Brown, Eric Kalaga, and yeah, what a race that was. Braden Melling will come across the line very shortly. He's got a whole lap to go here, so we'll not count our chickens before they've come home to roost. It is looking very, very comfortable though for Braden Melling right now. Out the final corner, great win for the AMS for Braden Melling. It's then going to be Michael Fowler in second place. John Casey is going to come across the line in third position. But yet again, a huge turn of events there, because Braden Melling now going from being 9 points ahead extends that championship gap on the AM class there. And let's have a look at your Pro class finishers there, and what a fantastic finish there that we've had. James Howard takes the race win from Dean Timms, and Ryan Kaprowski in third. Harry Wills down 8 laps there. Dan Tenorio in 5th and Kai DL in 6th. On to the Pro-Ams, and it's Akraf El Haddad who takes a race win from Chris Long. Justin Zolano in 3rd place, Stephen Martinez in 4th, John Traynor in 5th, Gary Brown in 6th position, Eric Kalaga in 7th, Michael Kalaga finishes 1 lap down, Chase Wilson, Jeremy Littleton, Jeff Carollo, Justin Rustow and Errol Rexoy finish multiple laps down. Moving on to the AM Championship then, it's Braden Melling after that last 5-minute dash for the cash there, ahead of Michael Fowler. John Casey taking 3rd place, Rick Swan 4th, Daniel Florea in 5th, Charles Bichelle finishing 2 laps down, and Andrew Hewitt and Matthew Plaisance with a very difficult day out at the races. Pretty much a day to forget for them. Let's have a little chat with some of our drivers then. And first off then, let's have a little chat, I think, shall we have a little chat with Braden Melling and Michael Fowler after that incredible race there. So we'll have a chat with Michael Fowler first and bring him in. Michael, a very good evening to you. Firstly, that was an absolutely fantastic race there. I'm just wondering, talk us through that second race, because it could have went so differently for you.
Yeah, Braden and I both were quite a bit faster than the rest of the field, and so it was mostly just about getting through the traffic at the beginning, and I had a lot of luck getting through there and didn't have any problems, and Braden got the undercut on me, and we raced it out at the end and let it go where it went.
Now, on that note then as well, because obviously you two are pretty much nose to tail in the championship. How difficult was that to, see him take that final position?
I just bought this track last week, so I came in here with no expectations of getting. I was hoping for top 4 at least. So the fact that I pulled off a win in race 1 and P2 in race 2, sure, I would have loved to have the win, but I came in and beat my expectations for the week, so I'm happy.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to jump in there, Michael, and ask, how the hell have you managed to do that? How can you buy a track and finish in second place?
I don't know. This track apparently just it really leans, or it works for my driving style. I ran it. I started practicing last week and just caught on really quick, and I really enjoyed the track. I'm wishing I had bought it 2 years ago when I first started, because I love that track.
Well, better late than never. Listen, do you have anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Just thanks to the admins and Twisted Racing. These guys have been helping me out with setups all year, and shout out to you guys for putting on an excellent broadcast, and to Braden and all the other AMs. I mean, it's been really good racing this year, and with Braden especially. I mean, we're, like you said, we're neck and neck, and it's going to go that way down to the wire. I hope so.
Excellent stuff. Well, listen, Michael, thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. We'll go and have a chat with Braden and see what he's got to say.
Thank you.
So there you go then, Michael Fowler having a little chat with us. Let's bring in Braden Mailing, your race winner after tonight. Braden, it's safe to say you left that pretty late. Or were you did you know that you were going to have that in the bag, or are you just happy to actually get that across the line?
I'm not going to lie, I was not expecting to get a win this race after seeing how far Mike was in front of me after coming out of the pits. I was honestly expecting to get a bit closer, hopefully, but just being able to catch up to him after a few mistakes early on and being able to seal that win, that was... Like, my arms are actually tired right now, and so am I.
I was going to say, I've just seen the GIF that you've popped in the driver chat there, but what's your experience with this track? Is it a track that you particularly like?
It's a track that, whenever I see it on the calendar, I'll tend to focus on it. Doesn't matter what car, what series, it's one of those tracks that I just love to race on. It's just high speed, technical corners, and it has everything that you need for a good race.
Does it make it worse then when you hear Michael saying that he just bought it last week and he comes in and he's like really on the pace?
It doesn't, in all honesty, because Mike's an amazing driver. Like, seeing his pace throughout the season, and it's been neck and neck between the two of us.
And then finally, obviously, we're coming to the end of the season. What's your thoughts moving ahead to Daytona and on to Bathurst?
Well, it's going to be another tough race. It's a very popular track, so I know a lot of these guys have tons of practice on it. As for Panorama, I'm nervous. I'm not going to lie. It is a very difficult track. That seems easy on paper, but when you actually get out there and start driving around it, it is tough to navigate. There are so many areas where you can just make a little mistake and it ruins your whole race.
Are you just going to send it? That's the question.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll try and take the jump on the last lap to get the lead if I'm in second.
I will literally pay good money to see that happen. Well, listen, Braden, do you have any sponsors or people you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, actually, I want to give a shout out to the guys over at ERS. Always putting in good work. Skyline Designs, they're our main title sponsor when it comes to our livery designs. Great working with those. We recently just picked up a new one, Grip Engineering. It's been great working with them. It's really helped improve our pace. So just thanks to all those guys. They've really been helping getting this team to where it is.
Excellent stuff. Well, listen, Braden, congratulations on another win and on what's really been a fantastic performance this season. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks. See you then.
So there we go, that is Braden Mailing, and it looks like that is us for tonight. We've got no more drivers to have a chat to, so as I said, that is us for 2 weeks' time. We are going to be back after a drop week. we are away next week, and then we come back with more action from the IMB World GT Tour as we head to Daytona, USA for round 9 of the 10 round championship. So many championships still up in the air, and I cannot wait to see it all go down, and I hope you're going to be joining us when we head over to there. But on behalf of myself, David Christie, on behalf of all the drivers and all the team involved here at WSL, thank you very much for watching. As always, we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Take care.